Hey everyone, I'm Paul. So let's get painting. Today I'm going to be using what I usually use, and that's an 8x10 canvas. This is the stretch one. You could get the flat canvas, it doesn't matter, whatever's on sale. I usually don't spend a lot of money for painting. I'll buy like these brushes here. Instead of going into the artist section, I'll buy these brushes from where they have like the wood things that you paint and the little bottles of paint and everything. You get like a 20 pack of variety of these brushes. They're 2 inches. You get four 2 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inch brushes, and 6 1/2 inch brushes. And I like these because they got that nice rough texture for painting. And for my paints, I usually don't go crazy on the paints either. And I'll be using, most of the stuff that I'll be using will be this either this Liquitex Basic, which is about this is like $5.49. And then my other favorite is this Level 1 Artist Loft acrylic paint, and this is about the same amount, actually a tad more than the Liquitex, and it's $1 cheaper. So you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to go out and do some painting. I'm even using this one that I got from Walmart. This huge one was like $3. Alright, so this video is just going to be my first one. And it's going to be a basics of the very, very basic foundation on how you could start painting easy acrylic landscapes. And once you get this part, then you could just keep adding subjects on top of it, into it. And towards the end of the video, I'll show a few little different versions of this. So the thing that I like to do is I like to start off with this nice thick white, basic white. It's like titanium white, plain white, whatever color you want. Take a clean brush, and then we're just going to start spreading this around. We want to cover this whole canvas completely. And this does a number of things. One, it gives you a nice thickness, so it's kind of like not dry, start drying out on you before you actually have a chance to get, finish your painting. And it also helps give you good definitions, in your brush work. I don't know if you could see that on the GoPro, because I had a really major issue trying to figure out where to put this GoPro, and right now it's basically just sitting right in front of me, and I'm kind of painting around it. But, hopefully I could, figure that out and get it a little bit better for you. All right, so we got that whole thing coated with the white. And then we'll just put that that aside. And then the thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with some of the yellow. And we're just going to put like a little dab of yellow here, a little dab of yellow there. And then we're going to take a 1-inch cheap brush, and we're just going to kind of dab it on there. And basically all we're going to be doing is tapping. And we're just going to just tap this up like this, and we're just going to kind of spread this around a little. And you got to picture these things as they're invisible branches, and these are going to be like the leaves on your branches. And we're just going to kind of make this nice little imaginary tree or bush or something. All right, now we're going to use that same brush. Still continue with the same brush, and then we're going to put in a little yellow ochre. And we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to kind of throw that in there, and we're going to just go up a little bit, kind of make a little bit of a, what would kind of look like a nice little bush or a tree, and spread that around a little. All right. And then I like to wipe the brush off. I have wax paper I put down So when I'm done, I could just roll it up. And then let's get a little red. And this red is very strong, so that might even be a little bit too much, but we'll find out. Just put a little dab of red. All right. All right, still using the same dirty brush. We're just going to take this red and we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're just going to go up. And as you see that when you're using the white background or the white base coat, that actually starts to, you can see, start off with some like darkness, and then we'll just put a couple little dabs of some red here and there, and you start off with like a deep color, but then it starts to mix and fade along with the you know, the white, and it gives you like nice little, like if you felt it, it would be nice and bumpy, and it gives you that, like, I don't know, two-dimensional, I don't know if you'd say three-dimensional, but like two-dimensional, you know, feel to it and look to it. It's awesome. So we'll wipe that off again. And then the thing we're going to do is we're going to take a clean 1.5-inch brush, and you're going to start with the very lightest color, and we're just going to carefully just try to keep dragging this down, some of this color, and we're going to do the light color, which this one's a little hard because the camera's in the way. And we're going to drag that down, and we'll go over to the yellow ochre, and we'll drag that down, and then we'll go into the red, and we're going to drag the red down, which, sorry, I'm hitting the camera, but like I said, I'm hoping to find out how I could do this a little bit better. All right, and now we're going to take another clean brush, and we're going to go back and forth. So we're going to just go like this. And that red's a little stronger than I wanted it to be, but gives you a little bit of that reflection. I'll just drag down some more of this yellow. And then see if we could just mix that in a little bit better. All right, well, we don't really have as much of a reflection I was hoping for, but we got that nice little, and I didn't do the sky. I didn't want to do the sky or anything like that because it's this is just a basic version of what we could do. And like here's a picture that I have done before where you could see, hopefully, where you could see some of the reflection of the colors going into the water. This case, it didn't really work as well, but that's the whole point part about painting. So now when you're at this point, we could get, I don't use a palette, I just use a piece of wood, and on top of the wood I put the wax paper, so when I'm done I could just, you know, crumble it all up. So we'll just get this still the same dirty brush that we were using to make all these trees and bushes, and we'll just see if we could just tap in a little bit of some green here and kind of make it look a little, maybe a little bit of green over here, and just kind of tap that in, make it look like a little bit of grass. And like I said, this is your very, very basic beginning. And then one of the things that we will do too is get the white again, and we'll get a little dab of that on our palette. And then we could just sit here and then cut in like a little bit of like water, like the effect of the water. And if you want, you could even add brown like this too. You could put some like brown in there. And for like a little shoreline or something. And I went a little bit too heavy on the red on this one, but usually if you're going to be doing this like blue or something, you're going to see the more defined colors. It might be hard to pick up on the GoPro, but I got to like still learn how to do that. But we'll see how this is going to go. And then another thing we could do is, if you want to make those look a little bit more like trees, is get some of the brown and your palette knife. And this is the palette knife I'm using right here. I got to keep hitting this to turn it on. So sorry for the vibration, but I'm using this little palette knife. And then we're going to do the same thing, you know, with that. We're just going to, you know, just put a little dab here, a little dab there, just a little mark here. I had another palette knife, but guess what I did? I sat down on it and snapped it off. Good job, buddy. Oh, well, okay. You know. So we'll just add in some little, you don't want a lot, just enough to kind of give you that impression that like, oh, hey, there's some branches in there. So it kind of makes it look a little bit like, oh yeah, that's a tree now. All right, so you know, pretty much, you know, you could do the sky, and you could do the sky blue, yellow, whatever color you want. But this right here is pretty much the basis of like the foundation of any picture that you want to start doing. So I got a couple of samples here that I'll show you. Here's another example, if you could see it, of one that I did. And in this element here, I added a little extra, you know, like little things of land sticking out into the water. And that's one thing. We could we'll do some of these. This just like all black and all white. Nice little moon scene there, and it's just, that's nothing but black and white. And then that's a really cool effect. And then we have other things like where, all right, we could throw in some mountains and some little stuff in the foreground, some little bushy looking trees with a nice sunset that graduates into like a different color. And then here's this, you know, little, oh, well, we could throw little Christmas trees in there too if you want. And then I decided I wanted to play around with some dark and light. So I ended up coming up with this dark and light reflection scene, trees in the water. And then you could get a little bit more technical if you want and come up with like a picture like this. And then I was feeling a little bit more abstract, and I ended up painting a picture like this with a lot of different colors and using a mop brush. And then I did another version of that as well with just different colors and a little bit of different things, maybe a little bit more of the rocks. And making those rocks are really easy. It's almost like that one stroke painting. So this is the basis right here of starting off painting with just tapping in any kind of tree that you want, any bushes, you know, just making it look like a scene. You know, you could go back, you could fill it in, you know, you could, you know, just, you know, add to it. You could mellow it out a little bit, add some of these other colors together, and just, you know, just keep working on it. You could keep adding different subjects in there. Over here, we could put in a little island and put stuff all over it. But I just basically wanted to start off with just the beginning steps. Just a quick, simple, easy foundation of what you start to do. And then as you advance on, you start making the trees look a little bit more like trees, because this is still considered like an abstract. You know, it's not like a perfect looking tree, but you got to think like, oh, this is a tree or some bushes or something. So there's a lot you could do, but I wanted to start it off with something simple like this, and then we'll advance on to some of those other type of pictures that I showed. All right, thank you, people. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, I'd appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when the next one's coming out. And hopefully we'll get some a little bit more advanced painting. But as I said, I wanted to keep it basic and simple so people could maybe follow along and kind of get the feel of tapping it in there and some of that. And then we'll start going from there. All right, people, you all have a great day. You all be safe. And peace out, people.